I'm gonna go back to being dead.
Okay, you're dead now. And now we're on YouTube. That's the first thing anyone's gonna hear on this stream is going back to being dead. Gotta open one more thing. Hi, YouTube! How are you doing this lovely day? You can't see our faces. I'm gonna keep smiling like you can. Hey, look, there we are. That's us. Don't look so surprised, Derek.
What?
Hey, YouTube. It's Outsiders Arcana. It's episode 4. We're moving on up. We've made it so far into this campaign that you should like and subscribe, because otherwise I'm gonna kill all these characters. Just gonna keep killing them.
Oh, that's a good jam.
That was it.
Now I'm ready.
Flynn, I believe you still have an inspiration point, don't you?
I do.
Bill, you want to recap last session? Or you want me to just wing it?
I could do it. You might have to fill in a little bit for me. So, we started the day out at Havoc's Crater, eating some lunch. After a while, Mr. Flynn went to the restroom and was immediately abducted by a succubus he had met previously. He woke up in a dungeon of some sort with some sort of spell written in a circle on the ceiling. He proceeded to escape from his shackles and destroy part of that roof and straight run out of there. Pharaoh and Bill were looking for him, located him not too far away. They met up. Flynn had a little bit of a minor freak out. Then we went shopping. We got some clothes for Flynn. Decided what we were going to do. We were going to go back to Yavin. We met up with Magda, see if there was anything that we could do on the way. And she mentioned us that we should look out for cults and try to bring back any information on them to her. And we stalked up and left, going by a cave that we previously thought was horrible and filled with death without checking it out. We went in and found a deck of many things. Bill grabbed a card and drew it and was the recipient of a wish. Pharaoh made the statement that she was going to draw one in the morning, but with the rules of the cards, when you state you were going to draw a card, you will need to draw it within an hour or it draws for you. She unfortunately drew the card that placed her up against the Avatar of Death, to which her friends jumped in and tried to help her, and another Avatar of Death appeared and fought all of us. Flynn fell in that battle, and Bill used his wish to bring him back, which brought us all back to the fight with all of our Avatars of Death, in which Pharaoh died. And that is no good. So we finished off the avatars that I was fighting. We made a litter. I turned into a horse and we're racing back to the capital. Maybe try to find somebody to bring her back, but our spirits aren't exactly very high at the moment.
Nailed it. I had to find my foot pedal. It vanished. No, that sounds good. That is exactly what happened and where you're at the moment. You guys did leave off like right at the entrance of this city, Toothstoud. Right on like the cave line where Flynn died previously. Passing the... What's the word I'm looking for? Just the sad environment of where somebody died previously. Now carrying the corpse of another companion back into the city. You all get through the gate and you enter kind of that chapel area of the city, which on the map is named the Bone Chapel. What are you two doing? What is your first steps? You have lifeless Pharaoh kind of in tow as the wild shape wears off on this last bit getting into the city, so now you're just kind of carrying the heavy plate dwarf. Not damaged or bloody in any way, just dead. As the two of you get into the city.
Bill, did you spot any temples, any clerics?
We could try to take her back to the temple we brought you back in, but I don't know if anybody would be strong enough to bring her back.
Let's start there. Maybe they know someone else if they can't do it themselves.
Okay. So you all head back to the temple where Flynn was brought back. The half overgrown, very, jungle-esque looking chapel where the other side is all weaponry and armor carved out of stone, like artwork all over the side of the building. Walking in, as the door is open, to this chapel, cathedral, place of worship in the city. Some of the robed figures in the main area see you carrying a person, recognizing Flynn and you, Bill. Kind of points you in the direction of the altar up towards the front, where I assume you place Pharaoh. The clergy member that is kind of pointing you in the direction. What happened, and do we need to bring someone back again?
She drew a card out of this, and I'll hold up the deck of many things. And this dead thing attacked her. Attacked all of us when we tried to help. At the game, would I know what that was?
The Avatar of Death? I will just, for ease, say no, you do not know what the Avatar of Death is. That's kind of a off-the-wall, not even really documented, and rare for even how rare the deck of many things is.
Then I'll describe it to him as best I can.
Interesting. I'm unsure of what that magic item is. Almost sounds like a reaper of some sort. Someone that guides people to the other side. Well, the process to bring someone back, this resurrection spell, is 1,000 gold. We'll supply the materials and begin with the process.
Yeah, I'll start shoveling out
Immediately
gold.
dump down.
As you guys are kind of like starting to pull gold out in like recognition that you do have this money and you're not just looking for a handout, the clergy member just leaves while you guys order your gold and get stuff stacked up for them, and comes back with more baskets of just things. You see this like massive diamond sitting in the center, surrounded by incense and like different potpourris, plants, flowers, petals. Starts tossing them around, lighting incense around the altar. A new sight for you, Flynn, since you were dead last time this happened, and now you're experiencing it from the other side again. Kind of a uncomfortable flashback situation to where you know that this had happened previously to you, and it's kind of like a alternate reality almost watching this. But all of the materials get laid down, scattered, and the spell does take some time. So for the next hour, this spell is slowly being cast, and you see the incense are lit. The petals lit up as this kind of like low mumbling, almost like chanting rhythmically, is taking place as the two of you are standing maybe 5 feet behind this clergy member. Is there anything you want to do with the next hour, or are you just waiting?
Yeah, I'm just waiting. Being on standby if I'm needed.
Same.
Okay. So the hour passes. Fairly casual. Just the Bill, you've experienced this, like I said once before. You've been through this process. Flynn, it's just a lot of chanting and like low mumbling. You kind of, being a spellcaster yourself, hear these vocal components to a spell being muttered. The spell itself is interesting to you because the language is unique. It's not something that you've really heard before. It's an unusual language that sounds very airy, and it almost booms occasionally as the person's mumbling. Like you start to hear it from behind you and around you as if there's multiple people doing this spell. Eventually the spell triggers. You see all the petals and the diamond all begin to glow, this vibrant white, illuminating the entire room, as Pharaoh's body itself illuminates and glows white. You see everything begin to dim and kind of pull into a center point of Pharaoh, and as the light fades and your eyes readjust to the drastic change, Pharaoh is still on the table, lifeless. As the clergy member turns around. I'm terribly sorry. It appears the soul is not able or willing to come back. We can store the body here for you, while you take some time.
Is there anything else we can do?
No, I'm afraid not. As long as everything you said was true, the spell should work if the soul is willing or able. We don't have any means more powerful than this in the city.
Thank you for trying. Can we have a moment with her before we leave?
Yes, very well. You see him kind of like apologetically almost walk by, giving both of you nods. You feel the hand on your shoulder as the person passes, like on the back side of your shoulder, as they leave you in the Wyatt Cathedral that is this this building.
Uh, she mentioned her father. Do you know? Did she tell you who he was, where she's from?
No, and I never really asked any more about it. I will begin to unbraid the different metals she had in her hair and collect a pretty long lock of her hair. I'll also store all of her stuff in the bag of holding as well.
Okay. Yeah, so you take
I'll leave her in her armor, though.
So you take quite a while. There are a lot of different like metal types bound in her hair, and also like the 5 million piercings she had down an ear. But you get the strand of hair, and then the other metal ingots, these unique pieces of metal that she kept, and store them in the bag of holding, and take the rest of her equipment, store it in the bag, and leave her there with her armor.
I would have been just helping him with that.
Okay. Yeah, so the two of you take like the next 10-15 minutes. Just a quiet saying goodbye to a companion. Just taking this moment to kind of sink it in and get in your last farewells as you finish up the process. Not quickly rushing through it or doing anything, just taking your time. Slowly gathering everything, getting it together, getting your thoughts in order. And you all are done. And you hear the light footsteps of the clergy member coming back. As one of the doors in the back, you hear kind of...
If she's got, does she have rings? She's got all sorts of jewelry. I imagine she's got rings.
Sure. I'm sure she does.
I'm gonna take one and add it to my necklace with my parents' rings.
You add a third ring to the collection. Another token of not forgetting.
I'm just gonna put my hand on her head and I'm sorry. And walk out.
You do so. You see the clergy member behind you as you turn around, just kind of like face almost like horizontal with the floor. You see they're kind of like in a half bow and not really making eye contact, just giving you space as you leave this chapel.
I'll fix her hair a little bit from where we took everything out of it, make sure she looks good before I go. And then I'll join Flynn outside.
And you both reconvene outside.
I'm just staring into the sky, drinking out of my flask heavily.
You're greeted with the, I would say now at this point, a very early morning, like reaching the earliest part of the day, still before the sun has come up, still dark out, but you start to hear people moving, bustling in the city as people are getting ready to start work for the day. But both of you are outside of this kind of split chapel, standing in silence for the moment.
What should we do now, Bill?
I don't really know. But I think you're on the right path. And I'll pull out Pharaoh's wine flask and start drinking with him.
Okay, you pull out the wine flask. I feel like it was a rosé. You drink this very sweet, light, a little bit of like a acidity to it. Like it's almost, it doesn't suit the palate for the moment, but it is a drink nonetheless that you're having out here.
Awake then. Let's find a place that looks like they can handle a little bit of fun, huh?
Yeah. Let's work through some stuff.
Okay. Are you guys wanting to go to any of the bars that you have previously been? The Acorn's Cup, or I guess the other one was Havoc's Crater that you went to, the hotel slash bar. You want to go to either of those or find a new place?
Not Acorn's Cup. Not in the mood for the succubus right now.
Probably not Havoc's Crater either. I mean, we saw her there as well. Let's look for something new. Maybe something more of like the end of a sports bar with maybe a boxing pit or something in it.
Okay. Make just a general investigation check as you kind of walk through the city, taking your time and glancing about.
Will I be aiding both roll or
Yeah, go
him
ahead,
with
roll.
advantage?
You can roll. Yeah. You do eventually find one. Let me turn off this.
Ye old Dave and Buster's.
Get a fancy rune card and you can play all these fun games. These arcane games.
Every one of my high scores is going to have Pharaoh's name on it.
Walking through the city, taking about an hour. The sun does finally breach this area coming up in the valley that is not blocked by the mountain range, bringing light into the city as you see people are wandering off, going to different jobs. You do find a bar. This one, you find out that it's a bar almost after you pass it. It looks kind of like this rough and tumble housing or just a very cheap business. On the outside of it, it's got this like crudely painted wooden sign that's hanging just next to the door and just like in paint, splattered. You see it like ran down at some point. Some of the dirt beneath it is stained with the paint. It just says bar with ale. From the inside, you do hear that there's like this low kind of percussion music coming out. If I have one that fits. Yeah, sure. We'll stick with that. But you walk in. Inside, it is not the nicest bar you've ever seen in your life, but it is a bar. On the inside, you see, kind of off on the side, there's a section where the roof of this building goes straight and then kind of just lifts up and opens into this kind of giant arena on the inside. You see like a dirt and gravel pit, smatterings of blood kind of tossed in and out of it. Inside, you do see a handful of ogres around the pit, all drinking from like what look to be barrels that like the tops have just been torn off of, and they're all drinking around this pit. You see orc, ogre, bugbear, a hobgoblin tucked behind the bar. This is a smattering of some rough and tumble races. Very empty at the moment. This early in the morning, you're kind of getting people that are like the breakfast crowd, or in the ogre's case, getting their breakfast ales. But behind the bar is a hobgoblin. Like 5 foot tall, a little bit shorter than you've seen most hobgoblins. Very lanky and kind of just skinny, almost looking malnourished, like sunken in features. These like tufts of hair that jut out from around the jawline. But that is the bar that you see.
Head to the bar and get a couple pints.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
strong stuff.
You walk up to the bar where the hobgoblin is. You see he's kind of serving on the opposite side of the bar a female orc that seems to just be in the morning, like drinking ales, eating breakfast, as this hobgoblin turns around. Hello. Welcome to the bar. Ale in.
Yes, a couple apiece, please.
Can do. Get the day started off right. As he begins to like pour these tankards of ale and just set them up. You see he pours about half a dozen, so there's 6 like ales just lined up on the bar. If you don't drink them, someone will. You see he smiles, and like this side of his teeth are all gone. As you see that like there was this crude stitching around his lip, looked like something happened to his face. But he smiles at you. A gold for each one. You can just leave it on the bar and dip if you like. You can give it to me now.
I'll give him 10.
You set the 10 down, and you see him kind of like just scrape it. You hear it clink on the floor on the other side of the bar, like cha-ching, cha-ching. Appreciated. He turns and walks off. You see him serve another ale to the orc woman on the other side. Some of the ogres are kind of like under that canopy where the roof dips and are like ducked down. And you see him like waving hands at these ogres as a couple larger, heavier set orcs come out with like these large barrels of ale, kind of carrying them under arms and just setting them in front of the ogres that reach down, pick them up, and go back to the fighting pit area where the roof is raised. And the band for being the morning crowd, as you kind of glance around and take in this musty floor planks are like sticking up. There's holes all over the floor. You got to watch out for rolling your ankle. The band currently is comprised of one bugbear who is just like banging a drum. It's just this like monotonous, almost trancey like boom, 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 boom. just inside the bar.
Was Gur a bugbear or an owlbear?
Gur was
My speed dating partner.
Gur was a bugbear.
Can I take a look and see if that's Gur, or if I'm even able to tell bugbears apart?
You take a glance around this place, as it seems like a fitting place for Gur to be, and you do not see her. She might be more of a Acorn's Cup, late night dating type of gal.
She's not a morning fight pit person?
She wasn't right for you, mate.
I'll cheers to Pharaoh with Flynn as I'm pounding back beers.
Yeah.
Yep, the rounds continuously come. Each time you get a new ale, it's almost like a cheers for something else about Pharaoh, as you guys kind of repeat this cycle for the next couple hours. Until you're pretty well buzzed and feeling better from the drinks. Your mind's kind of swimming at the moment. Hard to keep steady on your already wobbly stool as you kind of shift and the whole thing goes like... It gives you a scare every time, as the legs are always shorter. You feel like you're falling out of it. But you do this for the next couple hours. You feel like it's getting to about noon. The clientele in the bar, even though you're getting drunker and drunker and starting to notice less and less, the orc on the other side, the female orc that was eating breakfast, is still just kind of like docked up, drinking ales. The ogres are also still around the fighting pit. For how long they've been here, like this early in the day when you think people would be working, you just kind of assume that they work here. They don't seem to have any intention on leaving or doing anything. They just kind of exist in this place.
It's like Patty's Pub.
For the purpose of my wild shapes, would this count as a short rest?
It would count as a short rest, yeah.
At some point, I would ask the bartender the rules of the fight pit.
Oh, interested in fighting? We typically do that a little bit more in the evening. I mean, I could set something up.
Yeah, I'm a ferocious bare knuckle boxer.
I don't know if I can let you in there.
I'm just joking. Please don't make me go in there.
I mean, I could wait till the evening. Somebody come in here that you could fight, put on a show. But like right now, your only choices are her.
As he points at the orc across, it's like now back to you all, like arms on the table. You can see like this muscular, like super buff looking orc. And then off on the side, the ogres.
Or them. I don't really think you want to fight any of them.
I'm kidding. No, I don't.
But you could come back tonight. We typically get a good amount of people. Some equally as strong as you.
She doesn't look that tough. Come on then. I'll start walking toward the fight pit.
Okay. You start walking towards the fight pit. And Bill, as you're walking towards the fight pit, Flynn, you're talking with this bartender. Savo is the name you hear called out as the bartender turns around.
Hey. You got someone that wants to fight? You up for it?
That'll be worth it this time.
Right on.
See him turn around to you, Flynn.
Oh. What's he putting on the fight?
300 gold, and I'll just put down 300 gold on the counter.
Right on. Sound good to you?
So he looks back in your direction, Thavo. Can't hear you.
Oh, Thavo just nods confidently.
In the process of getting up from the bar that you've been drinking at and moving to the fight pit, what do these two drunken buffoons see as you make your way over? And describe your character for me.
Yeah, so Thavo is a half-orc, 6'5", very tall, square face with sharpened tusks. Looks like she files them a little bit. Long black hair with like a white streak and some like salt and pepper throughout all of it too. She has 3 feathers that look like it pins back her hair. And then she has dyed beads of bone that she has as accessories in her hair as well too. Simple black and brown garb with a little bit of fur lining and some straps, showing her midriff so you can see her muscular 6-pack showing. And she has a large bear tattoo that goes down her arm, where it looks like when she opens her hand like this, it's a bear just like growling or like opening its mouth in terror, holding a giant battle axe with bear claws. It looks like they were designed to look like they had scratches throughout it and like paw prints and just intricate details to it. But overall, pretty simple. I would say just probably her hair and her battle axe and tattoo is really what makes her stand out. Greenish skin too, with like a lot of gray undertones also. That is Thavo.
So that is what both of you see walking over to the fight pit. As Bill, you're kind of just in there, half buzzed, like kind of spinning a little bit, ready to fight, as these two ogres are like on the outside of the ring just going, laughing.
Look strong, Bill. Keep those feet spry. You got it.
We didn't really have a fight pit set up, so we're gonna go with this. Me clear some stuff out here.
Flynn's gonna run up to the bartender real quick and ask if there's also coffee.
Alright, fight pit. You ask the bartender if there is any coffee. You see him kind of glance at you.
Yeah, I got something. Just a moment.
You see him like pull up this like metal container that looks like it would hold coffee or tea, anything like that. You see him pour it into a cup, and like almost chunks kind of fall into the cup. You see it splash and like pfft.
Might be a little bit old, but it'll do the trick. It won't kill ya.
Slides it over to you.
I'm gonna sip it.
It's really bitter and super cold.
I'm gonna pour some whiskey in it.
That makes it better.
Find a knife, stir it up.
Yeah, you spend some time with the knife in the coffee mug as you're like trying to break up whatever that lump is. You're like just kind of smashing it against the wall of the cup. You get it to where it's like a good consistency, but now it's kind of granular. Like there's these little chunks that are like you're drinking through this cold whiskey-filled coffee.
Hell yeah.
And you walk over to the side of the fight pit. For this, the two of you just roll initiative, I guess, since you guys are deciding to fight.
I can't. It's black on my side for looking at the map. Didn't know if I could click on my token.
Oh yeah, it's got like dark vision. It's got the darkness on it.
Yeah, this map does. Do you have 30-foot dark vision or 60-foot?
How far is my dark vision? It is 60.
Now can you see?
Nice. Goodbye, Pharaoh's crit fails.
Is that the first time you've ever gotten an initiative that high ever in your life?
Ever in my life. Ever. And I don't even have that high of an initiative.
Sure, we'll go with that one. Give you guys some kind of battle music that's in between battle and normal since you're in a bar. Bavo, you're up first.
How drunk does this old guy across me look?
Looks pretty drunk.
I'll take it pretty easy with him. I'll make sure to use maybe the more blunt side of my axe at first. Poor guy.
Okay. Yeah, just through sitting across from the bar from these two drunkards that were toasting all morning, you get the assumption that something bad has happened to them, which is why they're there in the morning. You heard most of their conversation and drinking.
Okay. Yeah. Let's say I'll take it pretty easy. I'll just kind of go up forward and test him out a little bit and go for a hit to the head first and then the midsection.
Okay. You are not raging at the moment.
I know. I'm just testing him out.
Oh, well, your rage damage is on. That's why I'm
Oh,
saying that.
sorry. Gotcha. So 17 to hit and 10?
My AC is 15.
So the first one hits for 11 points of slashing damage as you kind of like cut across the chest, and you are surprised when, as the blade is cutting through, the wound is healing as the blade is cutting through. You take no damage, Bill.
Hey, you like bears? And I will turn into bear form.
Okay. So Thavo, this older gentleman asks you if you like bears, and then just turns into a giant bear.
And that's my turn.
Oh!
Back to you,
It's good.
Thavo.
There's gonna be a lot of that coming from Flynn throughout this whole thing.
There's just a consistent oh up on the side as the tiny gnome now is just shouting from the edge of this ring
All right.
to the whole two people in here.
Realizing now that he can turn into a giant bear, I would like to rage.
You go into a rage.
And-
What's your rage like? What kind of rage do you go into?
I feel like she doesn't even. She just screams. I feel like she just like her tusks just like saliva, like she screams, and like kind of like the strings of her mouth, like they stick together, like almost battle cry style.
Okay. So, Bill, you get this loud roar from this half-orc woman across from you as you see the muscles bulge and then, like, the veins start to protrude out of the skin as she becomes, like, more ripped and intimidating looking.
Oh, shit!
And I would also like to reckless attack as well.
Okay.
I don't think she likes bears too much, Bill.
Both of them easily hit. However, takes no damage. As you slash...
Very intrigued.
Yeah, you slash twice into this bear, kind of like wedging the axe into the shoulder part of the bear. Uncomfortable for you, Bill, but as it's removed, you see the wound begin to just seal and close back up.
I'll turn back and shout something out at Flynn, but it's just a bear going. And then I'll take my 2 attacks on her.
I'm just gonna laugh loudly like he told a joke. I don't know what he's talking about.
Yep, that hits.
Both of those easily hit. So with 2 attacks, you take 12 points of damage total from both of those. Bill, you do kind of see a similar effect to her, as the damage is not fully there. Not quite like yours to where it completely negates it, but the massive damage that you just did to this person almost comes off as nothing as you slash and bite out at this half-orc female. At the end of this round of combat, the door to the bar opens, and Flynn, in your drunken drinking coffee state, turn to look, and you see Lysanar just kind of walking in, meet eyes with you. Oh, hello.
I get over here, Bill's finding a big lady.
Oh. Okay. You see him walk to the bar as this combat is still going. Thavo, you're up. Lysanar's getting an ale from the bar, as Flynn is still just shouting into nothing.
Okay. Alright, well, I am going to keep raging and using reckless, but I would like to jump on top of the bear. And I don't know if this is possible, but can I take my great axe, put underneath as I'm on top of him, and pull it back and try to choke him out?
Make 2 attacks, and that'll be your 2 attacks to get into this position. The first one will be to get on, and the second one will be to get in kind of that choke maneuver.
Okay, I'll just roll a d20 and we'll add 6 to it. Which will have advantage because I'm reckless. So 25 to get on.
Yeah, you're definitely on the bear.
23 to choke him out.
And you lock into position on this bear as you kind of leap, planting with one hand on the head, sinking it down after the bite releases, and get on its back and bring the axe around, and now have it in this chokehold with an axe. You're not taking damage, but now you can't breathe, Bill. And you're kind of like stuck in this grappled position with this half-orc on your back, choking you out. You're up.
like to wave real big to Lacenar when he comes into the bar and like point at the orc on my back.
There's this giant bear mitt, like.
So I will just take a couple steps forward and kick my feet straight up in the air, landing on the orc on my back.
Okay. So you kind of kick, do a barrel roll. Both of you, Bill, you make a dex or acrobatics or athletics check. Savo, you make an athletics check.
Ooh.
Savo, you get crushed under the weight of the bear. Take 2 points of bludgeoning damage as you're being crushed, but that is enough to kind of knock the wind out of you, and the axe releases as the bear is no longer being choked out.
Oh, fuck!
My turn.
At the end of Bill's turn, Lacenar walks up next to you, Flynn. Oh, it seems like you've had a lot to drink. And I see you've met Davo. How nice.
Huh?
Yes. You're up.
Alright. Am I prone right now?
You are prone under a bear.
Alright. Real quick, what is this floor made out of? Like, is it like just rock and dust and dirt?
Yeah, so it's a lot of dirt and... Sorry, I had to switch to actual battle view because that would have made that make sense a lot more to anybody watching. It is dirt and like gravel. It's like a sand pit almost, but a very cheap one. So there's a lot of rocks and smattering of just blood all over the place. It is not a maintained fighting pit. Some of the areas are just bald and there's just hard dirt surface in certain spots.
Okay. I would like to try to, as I'm like getting up from being prone, is pick up like a handful of dirt, throw it in his face, try to blind the bear a little bit, give him some watery eyes, a little cloudy.
Uh-huh.
Don't know what to roll for that.
Okay. Roll a d20 with your dex modifier as you're throwing sand in a bear's face.
Pocket sand.
Yeah. Oh wait, I'm reckless, so. Damn.
Did not help you as you throw the dirt and there's like this weird gust of wind that just kind of blows it down as it... So now you're just stuck in the motion of throwing dirt and it did not work.
Alright, well, I will invoke my Great Weapon Master as well. That'll give me normal, and I'm gonna go for him. I'm gonna see if I can chop his ears off, you know? You can't... I'm just real mad right now.
Yeah, go for it. Roll your reckless great weapon attack.
Oh. Didn't roll. Yeah, hold on. I'll fix it.
Just roll one more. Yeah.
Damn!
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
19 minus 5 is 14.
Oh, 14, yeah.
So yeah, that still hits. With 21 points of damage, you do chop the ear off the bear as it just kind of goes... You don't take any, like, overlaying damage from it, Bill, but now you are missing an ear.
The fuck was that?
And I'll literally have a conversation with Flynn about my ear in bear, so it's just... And then I'll roar pretty loud and go to attack her.
Go for it. $17 goes down to 8 points of damage to you, Thavo, as you once again get bit and clawed. You're having a hard time fighting this bear, and he's not taking any damage. And then, at the end of your turn, Lacenar's still chatting with Flynn over here.
Oh, cut his ear off. That sucks.
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
It's getting dirty down there.
Well, hopefully he'll be fine after this. Should be joining you. Gonna be your new partner for a minute.
Huh?
Yeah.
Thavo, you're up.
Oh man, I'm so mad about all this magical bear. Very angry. How can I stop him?
This is more
Alright.
than you can bear!
The bear laughs.
They not hear what I said?
Yeah.
Alright, I want to try and take my hand axe off my side. And I'm going to try to shove it down his, not the axe part, but like the handle part down his throat.
Okay, make an attack.
I'm going to use my hand axe attack. Nope. Try again. Nope. There's those old feral rows rolling back over to Thavo.
No, you don't shove the hand axe down as his mouth is closed, and you're just kind of booping him on the snout with the stick end of a hand axe, just kind of like poking him with a stick over and over again. Anything else for you?
I'm gonna go to his other side. Around. I'm gonna do like a cool like slide underneath him. Get to the back side of him.
Woo!
Okay, you slide to the backside.
Of my bare ass.
Bill, you're up. You just got booped in the snout.
I'll go back to Bill. Who the fuck cuts off an ear? What? That really fucking hurt. That's just not nice. Flynn, you see, she cut off my fucking ear.
Oh, yeah! Enough for around, Bill.
Alrighty then. I'll hold my hand out like I have a sword in my hand. Oh, shit. And then I cast Flame Blade.
Nice. Yeah. So, Thavo, you see a giant flame sword appear in this older gentleman's hand. And mix light, scimitar. Yeah.
How do you make a melee spell attack on here?
There should be a button for it on your spell sheet. At the top, it should say melee spell attack.
You should still be able to click on just the words and it automatically rolls for you, I think.
In
Well, when
core, does it have is it underneath your core attacks?
I don't know.
You should just be able to click on it there.
It does not. Let me try adding it in real quick.
Yeah, I just click on the word on the
Oh yeah, so you
spell
just
sheet.
you just have +6 to your melee spell attack, but it doesn't have a button for it.
That's weird.
Thought there was a way I can set it up so it automatically rolls the spell attack. Sorry, my computer's moving a little slow right now.
Oh, good.
Ray of Frost just keeps shooting out into the middle of the arena. Pew,
I'm just-
pew, pew.
I'm learning new things. I didn't know I could do that. I think I'm drunk in real life. I'm getting method over here.
Just click all the buttons.
Well, I'll just do it manually.
Yeah, just roll d20 with +6 to it. Hey, that hits. With a natural 20. So 9 to 18. Thavo, you only take 9 points of fire damage. As Bill, you go to strike down with the flame sword as it swells up and kind of encompasses all of this person's form. And like you see just this aura of flame around them. As it diminishes, you see that she is not as affected by this attack as you were expecting her to be. At the end of your turn, Lysanar over by you, Flynn, goes,
Check this out. Don't tell her I did it, but this is gonna be really cool.
and he kind of points a finger at Thavo and snaps his fingers. And you see like this light shimmer with your arcane perception on her giant war axe as it kind of like flickers and then dissipates. Thavo, you're up.
Oh man, are you making it more fair?
He kind of just gives you a wink like,
All right, I'm just gonna go for, since he's just a man now, I'm not as scared. I'm gonna go 2 big old great axe attacks. Everything invoked on it. Everything.
okay.
Ah,
You have advantage on these.
oh yeah.
So 15 is the first attack.
Just hits.
20 on the next one as Bill, the axe comes flying down in your direction, kind of slashing across the front of the torso as you take Jesus Christ amount of damage. You have 40 something. You take 40 something points of damage and you do not recover
42.
from that.
So I'm down.
Yeah, you just fall out onto the ground. And you, Flynn, you see Bill fall unconscious as this half-orc woman just swings through and, like, cleaves into his chest. Lysanar goes,
Oh shit. That's not what I meant.
you see him kind of, like, jog over, jump over the rail as Thavo's just kind of standing there. And Lysanar slides and, like, throws a healing potion into Bill. Bill, you will heal 8 points of healing. You're up to 8 and come conscious with this giant wound on your side.
I think Thavo won. Good job.
I was just like.
Woo! Bill, you alright?
How how the fuck did she hit me that last time?
Oh, Lace did some thing and made it to where she could go through all your stuff. Try to make it more fair. Apparently, she's real strong, though.
At that point, I hear that. I would like to just glare at Lesanar.
Oh, fuck, sorry. I wasn't supposed to say that. I didn't know you could hear me.
Well,
I'll hold just a middle finger up off the ground.
well, now I'm the enemy. It's not very nice. Tried to make a good show of it for these fine gents.
And he looks over at the ogres that are just holding barrels of ale going, oh.
Alright, well, outside of being mad at me, sorry, Thavo. I know how you feel about that. Yeah. Where's your third?
Looking at you, Bill, as since Lacenar's right next to you.
She's not with us anymore.
Oh. That's not good. See, I was working on something behind the scenes. Remember how I tested you guys, and then Flynn, you died?
Vaguely.
Yeah, so we kind of talked about it, and we said, maybe they're not strong enough, maybe we should send somebody with them. And we were like, Thavo's been here. You're pretty strong. She'd balance them out. I was gonna have you all meet if you were still in town. Now you've met.
Lacenar just gets up and leaves. Goes back to the bar and you see him ordering ales.
I'll stand up and walk over to Thavo.
Yeah, I'm just like sitting at the edge of the ring, just feet dangling.
Just kicking
Let
your
me know when
toesy.
you. Let me know when you would like a rematch. Something fair if you'd like, and I'll offer my hand.
Shake my hand, my bare tattoo hand, and I like you, but I don't like you. I like bears, but I don't like that you can turn into a bear.
Fair enough. I'll give her a smile and I'll walk over to the bar and start drinking some more.
The ales are lined up for you as you see Flynn is kind of like sitting on these wooden posts just kicking his little legs above the pit as he shimmies off with his lumpy coffee.
So I'll sit with them, but I will make sure that wherever I'm sitting, that Flynn is the furthest from me.
Okay. So you all take your places at the bar. It's this lineup of like Flynn, Bill, Lacenar, and then an empty seat, and then Thavo.
Alright, well, I'm guessing whatever you were going to do did not work out. Do you have any plans? Because I didn't really know what you were doing.
I believe we were just gonna try again, but we haven't really talked about it.
Right on. I'm working on that house thing too. Got a pretty good list. Need to talk to some potential sellers in the area. Make some deals. Well, that's it. My job is done. I was just trying to get you all to meet. Now you've met. I'm gonna go talk to some sellers. When you come back, we'll have a house opportunity. Goodbye.
And the three of you are left at the bar. And at that moment, we're going to take a break because speaking of lumpy coffee, I need more coffee. And then we will pick up at the bar so you guys can discuss and get to know each other before you ship on out.
Hey YouTube, we're taking a break. Like and subscribe. It's very important that you do that. If you don't do that, I'm gonna DM like this the entire time, and nobody's gonna like that.
That we're gonna get back to D&D because it's a game that we play. Hey, I'm back. Hopefully everybody that's watching, all no one of you, like and subscribe. Very important that you do that. The ether. Well, now that I have coffee, the three of you are left at the bar with ale. Sitting at the bar with ale. With the hobgoblin, the kind of gaunt, malnourished, missing some teeth. Hobgoblin running the bar. Now it's just you three and the two ogres that are still around the fighting pit. You see that they're kind of over there like reenacting some of the moves of the fight that just took place. And one of them keeps booping the other one with like a stick that he picked up in the nose, and then they laugh real hard. But now it's the three of you. What's going on?
That's really impressive, Thavo. My name is Flynn Urican Cecilio Kite. This is my very good friend Bill Brasky. And what do you want to do? Why do you want to join us to do things?
I'm just taking a job.
Oh, is that all?
Yes.
Cool.
Guess we should really decide where we're gonna go next.
You'll see at one point that Thavo has like a little pocket on her. Something's moving around in it, and she's like feeding it, putting crumbs and stuff like kind of like in her pocket.
I still want to go to UV. Get the thing. I know Pharaoh wouldn't want us to just give up. You know?
Yeah, we really need to get that. Favo, we can fill you in on what we're heading there, maybe when we're on the road and not around other people. It's kind of important.
That's fine. I'm just here to protect you.
So I noticed you didn't like that Lace and I did the thing with your axe. Do you personally not like magical assistance during a battle?
I am not the biggest fan of magic. I was told to never sleep within 10 feet of anything magical.
Kind of just.
We don't have to get into that if you don't want to, but I am curious. Well, I was going to say, because I could do something that make you twice your size if we get in a pickle, which I think would be fun, but if you don't like that, I won't do it. I want to make sure I'm not crossing any lines.
I'm already pretty big.
Yeah, but imagine if you were 12 feet tall.
Then I wouldn't be able to fit in here and get my ale.
Well, just for battles outside battles, for a minute.
I'm already tall.
All right, that's good.
Well, I'll be happy to have you with us. It'll be nice. Maybe not being on that side of a battle with you for a while. That really hurt. You hit pretty hard.
Why do you heal? Why don't you take damage? I've never. No. Why?
Out of the game real quick. The whole time we've been in the capital, have I seen any other were creatures?
Not just walking around the city, no. You've not seen like werewolves or were-rats or were-tigers, were-boars. Anything that you know kind of fills the spectrum. You have not seen it in the city.
If you're talking, we can't hear you, Bill.
Sorry, I bet. I'm a werewolf. Part of that is some damage just doesn't apply to me. Silver is very bad for me, but cool stuff can affect me as well, weapons and such.
So like, you turn into like a big bear, like a werebear.
I'm also a druid that can turn into animals. It's kind of confusing, I know, but I can turn into a specific were creature, a wolf form that it's pretty helpful.
Pablo just scoots a little further away from Bill.
Yeah, we're both very magical. Only thing I do is magic. As you can tell, I'm not very big and strong, so got to do something.
Thavo, real quick, you as a character do know about Kami's lycanthropy. It is very common knowledge, being from this city and living in this city for so long. You know that the lycanthropy is it's not as much magical as it is a blessing from a deity. Like it's not so much like the transfer of magic power. It is something that that person is. So lycanthropy, not based in magic, but druid magic is separate. So the animal shaping is more of a magical area, opposed to Kami, who is a deity that is known very well in the city of Tustaud.
Okay, she probably wouldn't understand the big difference right now, so she wouldn't back away.
Just wanted to give you that information so you know going forward.
Honestly, it's helped us quite a bit. Up until just recently, it was pretty effective at helping me keep my friends alive. But
yeah, I heard about your friend earlier while you guys were drinking. I'm sorry about. Damn it, Pharaoh voice, son of a bitch. Sorry about that.
Thank you. And I will take out Pharaoh's strand of hair and her little metal trinkets from her hair. I want to start braiding a necklace big enough to fit Noob and weaving in her little metal things into it.
You do so. It takes some time. It is a very small necklace that you're trying to make with big, chunky carpenter fingers. So this process will probably take you quite a bit of time, but you will eventually get it done. But you kind of start on it while the evening is, or the day, since we started so early, is progressing. You all do progress into the noon time about this point. The bar begins to get filled with more people. You see more of the full-blooded orcs, half-orcs, a couple more ogres. Eventually, this lanky troll kind of walks in. You see this long matted hair that's almost flat and just stuck together. As he walks in wearing long pants and a duster, but no shirt under it, as he kind of like creeps through the door. But it's a little bustling in here at the moment.
Flynn, do you think we should find a place to sell that deck of cards before we leave?
No. No, we need to hold on to those. Imagine if somebody less noble than you drew your card. Besides, if we get into another pickle, there could still be some good stuff in there.
I don't think I will be drawing another card.
One way or another, I think the best with us for now is we can find a more powerful group of people that we can trust.
Well, when would you like to head out for Yavin?
Suppose we can start again in the morning. If that's alright with you, Thabo, do you have anything that needs to get taken care of? Anything we can help with?
No, I think I'm good.
Is there anything you need to know about us? Or has Lason filled you in on all the details?
He just sent me to come protect you.
Alright. I'll do my best to not make you uncomfortable with my stuff, and happy to have you along.
Just nods.
The hobgoblin bartender kind of shimmies back over.
Hey, I think, since the fight went the way it did, I think Tavo's owed about 300 gold pieces. Don't know if that's been distributed yet.
I'll dig out 300 gold pieces and slide it across to her.
What happened to the 300 I put down?
Oh, well, you just said it. You didn't really give me 300 gold.
I thought I did. I subtracted it out of game. So I'll do that.
Okay, so the pot was just like sitting on the counter, and he brings it over and awards Thavo the 300 for winning the fight in the pit.
Thanks, Big Al.
Yeah. Well, anything else? Food, more drink? Y'all gonna be here all day?
Probably. Maybe some food. I feel like I'm starting to wither away over here. Are there rooms here?
No, we ain't got rooms.
Alright, so we'll figure that out later.
Right on.
You see him turn around and come back with like just these bowls of broth, and then like these really thin crackers, like little sleeves of crackers, and sets them in front of each of you.
Specialty of the day. Bone broth and crackers.
Ooh.
It's kind of just like hot water. The crackers are the most flavorful part of this meal.
I will eat my broth solo and put my crackers in my pocket.
Okay. You do so. But you all eat and drink for the remainder of the day. It starts to get to the evening hours when the bar is actually bustling. More fights do take place. You start to see other warriors and different people go in and, like, some people leave their weapons on the side and do just bare knuckles fighting. You see some arcane spellcasters doing spell battles inside of the arena. The hobgoblin kind of shuffles back over in your direction, Flynn.
So you were talking about getting in there today? I got someone about your size. If you wish to put a little money on.
Ah, what the hell? For Pharaoh. And I'll do 100 gold this time.
Okay.
I'm not as drunk. I've gotten to a healthy buzz.
You put down the 100.
I'll put a couple more 100 in on that.
And you all kind of wait for a while. I need to turn off dynamic lighting on this one for the moment.
And I'll go ahead and cast Mage Armor on myself.
Okay.
Since it lasts 8 hours, I'll just go ahead and do that now.
You do so. Let me look at my notes here real quick. We will use... Let me just search a token here.
While you search a token, Bill and Flynn, whatever money Barrow had on her, you guys can do with it. Split that between you guys however you want if you took that, since I assume you kind of took everything besides of armor.
I imagine it's just in the bag and we haven't even looked through it yet.
Yeah, we're still grieving.
You don't want my money?
No, we got the money. We just don't know how much it is.
Yeah, basically we just threw all your stuff in the bag of holding and got plastered.
Alright, so you cast Mage Armor on yourself, and you drink for a while. The fight is not immediately, you're like fourth in line, but you guys just kind of hang out, chit-chat. Until you, Flynn, are pointed in the direction. You see the hobgoblin bartender kind of just like,
You're up.
All right, stand up, whoosh my jacket. Let's do this.
alrighty. You walk into the ring and you are greeted with a female, wizard-looking type, wearing a lot of bright colors, long brown hair, pretty much matching the token that is on the battlefield. I need to switch the screen this time. There it goes. You see she kind of like gives you a nod as you walk in. She addresses you, nods, gives a smile. Shall we?
We shall.
Good luck. And you see she kind of goes into like a stance as you two roll initiative.
She halfling? Gnome?
She is not halfling. She looks human, like at first glance, but the long hair kind of parts when she shifts and you see like slightly pointed ears. You think she might be elven of some sort. Let me switch the music to some battle music for the pit. Go back to this one. This one seems more appropriate instead of super aggressive fight music for a bar fight. So she is up first. You... Why am I downloading stuff? I don't want to download stuff. You see her pull out a handful of like rose petals and just kind of toss them in the air as they kind of light up with this arcane magic and around your head. As you fall asleep.
There's no save for the sleep spell?
It was super effective.
So these rose petals kind of spin around your head, and you're getting ready to cast a spell on your mage armor and just fall down into the dirt. And for Thavo and Bill, both of you just watch Flynn fall asleep, and the crowd is just dead silent.
Wake up, you little fuck!
Good showing. And she turns around and just leaves. And you see one of the ogres kind of like steps over and like grabs Flynn by the belt and just kind of lifts him up with like tiny fingers and moves him over in the direction of you, Bill, and Thavo, and sets him down. Mumbles and like wanders back to the middle of the ring.
Next fight.
And that was your combat with another mage.
I'll give him a light smack on the face.
And Flynn, you are awoken from your slumber in the arms of Bill, like ready to fight.
She casts a sleep spell. Touche.
Yeah.
I'm glad
Maybe
I'm
I-
here with you now.
Maybe I should just go home.
We got Thavo to protect us now. I think it, man, that's gotta help.
I can teach you to fight. They have like Monday Goblin Night here, where it's just goblins that fight. And I've taught quite a few of them.
I'm gonna go find us a place to stay. And I leave.
So Flynn gets
Oh.
up and walks out of the bar with ale. Bill, go ahead.
I'll trail after him. Not a big fan of splitting up at the moment.
Okay, so the two of you kind of walk out. Thavo, you are in the bar. You following too?
Yeah, I'll be like 10, 15 feet behind him.
Okay. Yeah, so you trail behind, all of you leaving bar with ale. On your way out, you do see this female mage kind of like scraping the pot of money into a bag as it just kind of disappears into the bag, and she like tightens the strap and begins heading out as well. Seems like she leaves almost immediately after you all. But you're out. Where are you going?
Just looking for another inn. Whatever's close by.
Are you looking for a new one? You don't want to stay in any of the ones that you've stayed in before?
Nope, not here.
Okay. So, kind of walk the evening streets of Toothstoud, looking for a new inn. You know there was a handful of them in the castle ward that were pretty expensive. Or you could go and find just a small, like, motel-style inn that's more on the outskirts of the city.
First one I can find.
Okay. Walking out of Bar with Ale, you see that there is a long line of doors, just like all ground level, not multi-storied. Looks like a place for rest specifically. It does have a building at the end of it that just says inn above the door. This seems like a place. That's the first one you see that's in this region of the map.
Three rooms in.
Yeah.
You got 3 rooms available.
The bulky older gentleman, human, stubbly beard, bald on top, kind of like that horseshoe hair around the head. Yeah, we have plenty of rooms. I think only one's reserved. 3 rooms will be 30 gold pieces.
Alright, I'll cover this, guys. 30 gold, here you are.
Appreciate it. He slides over 3 keys. Yours are all next to each other at the very end.
Appreciate it. Have a good night.
You do the same. You all walk out and go towards the end of the motel where you find your 3 separate rooms. 2 of the doors are like right next to each other and one of them is kind of off like 5 feet away from the other door. But all of your rooms are there and paid for.
I'll stay at the end. Bill, here you take the middle one, and then Thavo, you take the one farthest away from me. I guess I'll just see you all in the morning.
Let's go to my room.
Okay. Go into your room. All of you kind of like disappear into your rooms for the evening. Very simple. There's nothing exciting about these rooms. There is a community like washroom in the middle of the hotel chain. All of these rooms are just very small boxes with a bed, and there's a shelf and like a coat hanger. And the rest of it is just wood. There's no rugs, there's no drapes. There's a window on each of the rooms that has no cover to it, but they don't appear to open in any way. They're just kind of open, see-through windows. Did you all go into your rooms for the night? Is anybody doing anything, or are we jump into the morning?
And after just a little while, I'll go knock on Flynn's door.
About 30 minutes passes, Flynn, and you get a knock at your door.
Flynn opens it, disheveled, with the flask in his hand.
You got a second? I think we need to sort Pharaoh's belongings out and figure out what we want to do with them.
Yeah, come on.
So I'll pick up a spot on the floor and we'll pull out her stuff. Like, I'll make a pile of the generic stuff like the bedroll, the mess kit, the torch, and all that. But, like, her holy symbol, her little lucky charm, belaying pin, and all that, we'll make a bundle. What should we try to find somebody to ship all our money and stuff to?
I'd love to try to get to a family, but I don't know how to. I don't know how to track that down. Maybe if we can ever find Noob, give it to him, or at least if he can give us information about where she came from.
Yeah. I did also come across this, and I'll pull out what I can only hope is just a horrific smelling vampire arm and a spectral tongue. I don't know what to do with these.
Probably just throw that out. Throw it out.
Yeah, I'll just chuck those out the window.
The window does not open, so you go and try to throw a spectator tongue out the window, and it just sticks to the window. And then, like, those sticky crawly wall crawlers just, like, flops down like a nasty slinky down the window.
Oh.
If you're talking to us, Nick, we cannot hear you.
Just imagine trying to get that tongue out as like Peter Griffin with the frog. Just trying to like get it out the window. It just keeps like rolling back down.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I'll be on my phone for a minute until my computer reconnects for whatever reason.
Makes sense.
So yeah, we'll make a bundle of all of her stuff and we'll try to find her father, I guess. We'll look up Noob once we're back in the capital.
Okay. So you separate all the belongings, the important stuff, and kind of keep them together. Stow them in the bag until a later date when you can find out any information on where to put these or what to do with them.
I will take her shield. I'll start wearing that in kind of homage.
Okay. Pick up the shield, realize that pretty similar like forearm bands that will fit you as well. Throw it on. You now have a shield.
I am getting tired of watching you guys die.
I'm sorry you had to use your wish on me, Bill. I'm starting to think maybe I'm in over my head.
I'm glad you're still here. I'd really be lost if we didn't have one of you guys with me.
I just need to be better, that's all.
Hey, if it ever happens, just take any of my stuff you need, and if I die, you could just leave me out there somewhere. I mean, it's throw some dirt over me, I'll be fine out there. Don't worry.
I think we both know that out of the two of us, I'm next. I've already cheated the fates way too many times.
Well, not if I can help it.
I'm tired of being a burden.
You're not a burden, you're family.
Flynn just kind of chokes up and then like goes over and hugs Bill, pats him twice on the arm, and like sits.
I'll get better. I'll get stronger. I'll learn more, and I'll be more helpful.
I will too. Get some sleep, and I'll get up and head to my room.
Okay. So you all separate for the evening, going into your own rooms. Having your evening of rest, some sleep comes easier to others than the two of you that have gone through a lot in just a handful of days. But you do find rest. You wake up the next day, ready to ship off in whichever direction that may be. Thavo, you are the first one to wake up. You got all your shit together, get ready for a day of who knows what. Kind of wait outside your door for probably close to an hour until Bill comes out. And then a few minutes later, you see Flynn come out of his door.
Morning.
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 All right, let's do this.
And which direction are we heading? Are we going towards Yavin, or are we going towards Roxhold?
We don't want to try to find Noob today. We'll just come back to that when we get back here.
I believe Pharaoh tried to find him day before yesterday and he wasn't around, so I imagine we should let's head out. When we come back, we'll find him.
I do also think we need to pick up our stuff from Roxhold. I know they think we're dead, but, well, I don't look the same, so I think I can get in and be fine.
Well, would you rather do that before Yavin, you think?
Yeah. especially with our new friend here. We need to be hidden.
Let's head that way. We'll start heading towards Roxhold.
Okay. So you all head out of Toothstoud. Back in the direction that you had left the previous evening. Walking through the pretty light forest for the first part. Eventually turning into a desert. As the sun begins to bear down and make you sweat and be all hot and sticky for the rest of this day's travel. About halfway through the day, well, towards the evening hours of the day, you come upon a familiar cave in the middle of a flat desert. It is on your way to Roxhold. And once again, it is getting to that point to where it is getting close to rest. The sun is setting. The bright reds are kind of cascading over the desert that you're in. And the sand is not near as hot. What do you all wish to do?
Shall we go on for another hour or two and set up camp somewhere?
Yeah, I'd rather not be near the cave.
Okay. So you all go on for another hour. Traveling deeper into the desert. You find a spot there where there's a little bit of like rock terrain that would make like a makeshift shelter. Not going to really protect you from anything, but at least gives you like a little cover up above. But you know where the sun rises, the sun's going to be on you immediately in the morning once it rises. You all set up camp. Anybody taking watch? Anything going on this evening?
Take the first watch.
I'd like to head a little ways away from camp, in someplace where I can see the moon. I kind of want to attempt to pray to Kami. Not entirely sure if that would work, but I really want to commune with him, her, the god.
Okay. So you all begin setting up camp, start pulling out some rations, eating your dinner as Bill gets up and just kind of starts walking into the darkness. Gets out of all of your dark visions, out of the radial effects of the small fire that you've made just to prepare food, not so much for warmth as it's still pretty hot. Bill, you walk out into the darkness of the desert and kind of just take a moment to sit down and try and reach out to this deity somehow. Looking up into the sky, trying to find the moon, you do see that there is a pretty large storm, once again, brewing in the direction of like Roxhold. It's kind of moving in your direction. Unsure if it's going to make it, but it does cover one of the moons, but the perpetual moon is right in the middle of the sky above you as you try to reach out to him. What way do you try to reach out to him? What does Bill think is the best route to go through this process?
I will turn into my werewolf form, and I will try to meditate like I have in the past when I connect to that shared consciousness, but focusing on Kami and that moon.
Okay. Just roll a wisdom check for me.
Does the werewolf get any kind of wisdom bonus or all, or just me use bills?
Just use bills. Most of the stuff kind of transfers. All right, with a 20, yeah, for sure. You turn into your werewolf form and kind of like sit awkwardly like a wolf would, looking up at the moon, and kind of zone out, trying to go into that space, that shared consciousness that you've done a handful of times now. You once again feel like you're suspended, no longer in werewolf form, but just Bill. Just existing in this floating, except this time there are no stars. There's no light anywhere. You're just floating in a void. A couple moments pass and you hear the familiar voice of Kami.
Welcome, William Brasky. Can I help you?
In the last 2 days, I've seen my closest friends die. I'm not strong enough the way I am to help protect my friends. What can I do to be stronger?
Strength comes with practice and time. You will get there. Losing people in Muthana is all too frequent. This is what we've been working for. You've experienced what the rest of us have for hundreds of years now. I will aid you the best that I can, William. Just rely on your friends. You'll make it. One way or another.
Okay. And then I will slowly pull away, I guess.
And that void begins to dissipate, and you're back in your werewolf form, kind of sitting in the desert.
I'll go back to build and I'll return to camp.
Flynn and Thavo, both of you hear the footsteps in the sand of Bill coming back. So he makes his way back to camp. All of you find rest. Thavo, you're up first watch. Make a perception check for me.
On my first watch, I would like to real quick is call Kiwi out. Be like, hey, check the perimeter. You do, you get this whole cracker.
You get a squeak squeak as it begins to like go off into the desert.
Nice.
Time passes. Kiwi comes back a couple minutes later and lets out like two little and then like little tiny hands, waiting for expectantly for a cracker.
Oh, you are so adorable. Here you go.
And it aggressively eats a cracker. But you don't really spot anything. You hear the rumbling of thunder off in the distance, rain moving in, but not currently on top of you. And your watch comes to an end. Who is getting up after first watch?
I will.
Okay. So Bill, you get up. Pavo, you kind of shift a little bit outside of the normal means of sleeping and sleep kind of on the edge of the flames aura.
Have Kiwi curl up on my chest.
And you fall asleep. Bill, You on second watch, give me a perception check. Just kind of zoned out and lost inside your own head at the moment, not really paying attention to the surroundings until you hear a erupting howl from the direction you all were traveling from, as a lot of footsteps, like heavy, passes off in the distance somewhere. You don't see anything, but you hear, it sounds like a pack of something is moving in the distance.
I'll stay still unless it sounds like they come any closer.
It doesn't ever move anywhere near you. Just kind of passes. You hear it get pretty close, like within 100 feet of your campfire, as it slows down a little bit, just the noise, and then picks back up again and then fades off into the distance, beginning to kind of like just disappear behind the sound of thunder. But that's all for your watch.
Flynn.
You get up for this last bit, feeling fully rested, ready to go. Take the last couple hours as the sun begins to start to peak over the horizon and change the color of the sky. Make a perception check for me. You glance around, the fire now out, the horizon becoming light, everything's like silhouetted around you as the desert is just filled with shadows at the moment. Not much to see. It's quiet. A large rumble of thunder off in the distance, getting closer. Makes you uneasy for some reason. You hear that thunder crash, and it's almost like the hairs on your body stand up. Not something you've really experienced before. You've been around plenty of storms, even just here in Muthana, fairly frequent. But there's this rumble off in the distance that for some reason, something isn't right with it. And it just makes you feel uneasy. You're unsure why.
Is it really far off?
I mean, probably a handful of miles. It's been moving in your direction, the storm that's been going throughout the night, and you've heard the thunder, the kind of in the distance rain, little isolated bursts of rain fairly close to where you're at. But it still seems like it's a few miles off. You'll probably run into it today on your travels. But that one burst of thunder stood out amongst the rest of the thunder.
Can I make some sort of a check to determine why that specific one made me feel uneasy? Like if it was magical or natural?
Make a nature check. Don't have a clue. Something wasn't right, but you don't know why. It sounded like normal thunder. Like nothing. It didn't sound unique or different, but something was weird about it.
Just make a mental note of that and get into my book and mentally prepare to learn new things.
And you do so as your final watch comes to an end and the rest of you wake up. Thavo, you wake up. Kiwi kind of does like cat stretches on your chest and then dives into a pocket. As you're getting up, and Bill, you kind of roll over. Both of you see Flynn is kind of just looking off in the direction of that storm. So he's like flipping through pages and then just occasionally like looks over in that direction, but y'all are ready for your second day of travel.
I imagine I would have seen the cat, or does the cat hide when you sleep?
It's a mouse.
Oh,
Doesn't-
mouse.
Don't really
Yeah.
hide. Just kind of goes in and out wherever they want.
It was a mouse doing cat stretches was where you got cat.
Oh.
Who's this? Who's that little thing there?
Oh, this is Kiwi.
Hello, Kiwi.
Squeak, squeak.
Yeah. I almost ate Kiwi. That's how Kiwi got its name.
Is it green?
No, there was a box of kiwis, and when I went in to eat one of the kiwis was moving.
I like that. It's a good origin story. Pleasure to meet you, Kiwi.
Flynn has he's decided to start doing his stretches again from when he was old, and he also does push-ups now. He just crank out as many push-ups as he can. He's up to 12 now.
Nice. Yeah, so you go through kind of this like morning ritual, doing stretches, getting some push-ups in, getting ready for the day. And as you finish up and all of you have packed up your things and are ready to ship off, that first bit of rain begins to start to fall on you. For all of you, it's kind of a relief. It's nice compared to the scorching heat of the desert. You're surprised that there's any rainfall here, but this storm seems to be like branching out. Just looking up at the sky, you see like these long arms of storm moving through the sky. They kind of like sweep over the desert where you're at, and then it lightens up for a moment, and another one of these branches of storm kind of just reach out. It's kind of like misters at a theme park. Every once in a while you get some misters. But you all ship off in the direction of Roxhold. Traveling in that direction, I need all of you to make a perception check. Len, these hot perception rolls from the other two today. Making your travels a little bit slowed down because the rain is now sinking into the sand and dirt and making it kind of muddy. But you're making your travel. You're a little bit past noon at the moment. All of you just kind of wandering in silence, having a little bit of conversation here and there. And you see something that's not normal. Off in the distance, there's something that you swear was not there the previous time you came this way. You've been through here once before, following pretty much the same path as it's the fastest. But there's like these 3 pillars that are just out in the middle of the desert. They're pretty far off. They're in the horizon, kind of shadowed and disoriented from just the rain. Like they're distorted in their shape. So you kind of pick them up in waves. Like as the rain lightens up, you can start to see these pillars protruding off in the desert. But then as it picks up, like they're so far away that you can't see them anymore. But you're catching glimpses of these pillars.
And the path we're on will take us to those pillars.
It's a little bit off the path that you're on. But as you're making these observations and kind of walking through the rain as it comes and goes, there's like this trigger with the thunder from the night before that caught your interest, and for some reason this is like you're associating the two for some reason and you're unsure of why.
Thavo, how familiar are you with this area?
Anything about this desert and these pillars?
Yeah, you know a lot about the surrounding area of Toothstoud. Those specific pillars that Flynn seems to be staring at while he's asking you this question, you've not seen them before.
No idea. Never seen them.
I don't know why, but during my watch, some sort of a peculiar sound of thunder. And I don't remember these pillars either, Bill. I don't know if it's something we should investigate or not.
I don't think they were here last time we came through.
You want to go around or go check?
I kind of want to go check.
Do you mind if
But-
I go first?
That's all right. I just know. I mean, if it just appeared out of nowhere, it could be magical. So, just be careful.
I take Kiwi out of my pocket, toss it to Bill, let Kiwi do some air cartwheels. Please hold Kiwi.
So, Thavo, you start heading off in that direction. Are the rest of you, like, following her? Or is she just, like, straight up going on her own?
I'd say maybe give her 30 feet.
Okay.
And trail.
Like a spread out a little bit between us as well. Like a triangle just to make it harder to hit all of us.
Sure. So, Thavo, you take the lead. Flynn and Bill are 30 feet behind you, about 15 feet apart from each other, making like this makeshift triangle moving in that direction. Thavo, give me a perception check as you move up to investigate these pillars.
Nice. Got above 10.
You sure did. As you get closer, the rain is like specifically heavy for some reason and obscuring a lot of your vision towards this. But as you get like 50 feet away from it, the rain lightens up and you start to get a visual of what this is before the rain comes back in. You see these pillars on the outside, all pointing up, ending in a point. They almost seem to be crafted. And in the center, there's like a ring, and you see some sort of altar. You make out a couple shadows that are standing around this altar. But with an 11 perception, that's all you pick up. The figures are kind of like silhouetted and shaded, and you only catch glimpses of them as the rain kind of lightens up in areas, but it seems like there's something in this section.
Keep getting closer. Oh, how many dark shadows do I see?
You see about somewhere between 2 and 4. Like, you don't know if it's 3 or 2. Like, they just seem to repeat and move. So you don't know if you're seeing the same one over and over again, or if you're seeing different figures. If they're not moving, you see 4 of them. But if they're moving around in between what you can see, there might only be 2 of them.
Okay, before I move forward, I'll do like a hold an arm up. I'll be like, hold 4 up. I'll do this. And then I'm going to go forward. I don't know if they'll understand it. That's what I'm doing.
Okay. So Thavo gives you this signal. What do you two do as she starts moving forward?
I absolutely understand that.
I cast Mage Armor and let her get like another 20 feet ahead of me so that I am 50 feet away from her. And then continue to walk.
Okay. So, Thavo, you're walking forward. Flynn starts to trail behind as Bill's kind of like now in the middle spot. You walk up and you begin to, through the storm, start to hear like these chants and grumblings and it's like reverberating, and it's kind of just carrying through the thunder. Like, you hear it underneath the thunder in your area. As you get up to the area, I'm going to drag you to a map. And we're going to pretend that this recycled map is something new.
Whoa, crazy new map. Never seen this.
Yeah, so instead of this, it's desert. That's what the surrounding is. There's no trees or anything. It's desert.
That's the map we got the vampire arm on.
Yeah, and the spectral tongue.
Those trees are just it's
Rough.
rough sand.
Hmm. It's all quicksand. If you step in it, you're done.
Gotta get out of there.
I hate sand. It gets everywhere.
All rough and coarse.
And irritating.
Makes me want to just slaughter a bunch of younglings.
And sand people. I mean, just the name alone. I hate them.
I hate that I have to assign your HP every time I drag this out. I don't know why it's not just in general saving this.
I think we can adjust on our own tokens too if we just drag them out.
I had my HP lowered on my character sheet.
I just meant for Thavo's new token. Like, the HP and AC bar don't pop up for her, so I have to re-tie it to her character sheet every time. But this is your view. Let me... Actually, what time is it? 1:30? I have to pee. We'll take a break before we dive into this. This is where we're
Right,
at.
Tom.
Hey, YouTube and the 0 viewers. Like and subscribe. Just become a ghost. Watch YouTube without it counting, and like and subscribe. I love ghosts that like and subscribe to this channel. Okay, bye. And we're back to D&D live scene, so everybody can see the map. Music sounds like it comes from space.
This is good. It's good shit.
Alright. Let's put on some battle music.
Oh, and we're fighting it? Thought these guys were friends.
BFFs, okay?
No.
I mean, you can decide that. I just need to put some music on to make it more ominous and spooky. So, let me get a couple of these up. Get that up. Get that up. And we're good to go. So, Avo, you walk up to this site. The people that are muttering this kind of incantation, this chant that's going on, you see that there is a corpse in the middle on this platform. Long, very like gaunt, dead looking corpse wearing all these like almost ancient garb. As they are casting a spell, and you're starting to see these pillars around you are like lighting up at the points. And as they light up, you see like ghosts. These 3 ghosts start swimming around the pillars that are encircling. As you walk up, what are you doing?
Oh no. Tavo does not like ghosts. She's gonna walk up first and be like, stop. Please stop. Unless you want to die, just stop.
You say this, get no response. As the muttering continues to go, and now I need you to roll initiative, everyone.
Just gonna deeply inhale. Very upset.
And with that,
Oh. Yes. 2 bolts come flying in your direction from one of these ghosty boys. As you see one of these ghosts kind of like whip around the pillar and lift up in the air and hold both hands out as 2 bolts go flying in your way. 21 and 19 to hit. So you take 16 points of necrotic damage, halved to 8. Wait, is that only while you're raging that bear thing is active?
That's always active. That's just part of my Path of the Totem Warrior.
Right on. So you take 8 points of necrotic damage. That ends its turn. It kind of like disappears behind one of the pillars again. See it passing through like solid things. Thavo, you're up after getting hit with the grave bolts.
Alright. I'm assuming these guys are the responsible for Ghosty Ghost. So I'm just gonna go up to this first one and I would like to rage. And
You are
use
raging.
reckless attacks until otherwise said.
Okay. That definitely
Ooh.
hits. And
17.
that one definitely hits.
So 16 damage.
16 points of damage as you swing through with the heavy axe and just cut this dude in half. He's gone before he even turns around. He dead.
Neat. I'll prepare and get up to the next guy.
Okay. You do have the ability to... Oh, you raged on your turn, which is a bonus action. So your bonus action's gone. I was just going to remind you about you get an attack on a bonus action if you kill somebody. But that is the end of your turn. And then it goes to you, Bill. You're way back here. You see Thavo kind of disappear into the rain. You see these streaks of dark energy go towards Thavo and crash into her as she is seemed to initiated combat. What are you doing?
I'll move forward. At what point will I be able to see the three gentlemen in the middle?
Probably like here.
And can you tell me what the body laying down between them is wearing?
Yeah, so the garb of the corpse down there is like, it almost looks ancient. It doesn't fit the setting that you're in. There's lots of metal, there's like a loincloth, these straps, almost looks priest-like, but from a bygone era.
I would like to cast Call Lightning down on that body between all three of those guys. And
Okay.
see if that actually does anything.
Go for it. Thavo, you will also need to make a dexterity saving throw. One of them fails. You make it, so I think it's half damage on a save, right, Bill? So, Thavo, you will take 6, half to 3. You take 3 points of lightning damage. And the rest of them take 6, except for that one guy. He takes a full 13.
I would like to turn into a bear, and I'll use the rest of my movement running towards the middle of those guys.
Alright, you turn to a bear, start running up. Thavo, you get the first-person view, like a Gallagher show, as electricity kind of bolts into this person, and they just pop from like the electrical charge and explode as you are now covered in gore. The body in the center does not seem to be affected, Bill, as you move up and look into like the actual area. Something seems to be protecting that corpse in the middle. End of your turn. It goes to the cultists. They continue the ritual. Thavo and Bill, since both of you are up there, you see the arms of this corpse begin to like twitch. The fingers start moving. It seems they are getting close to completing whatever it is they are trying to do. Ends their turn. Then we got these kids. They are both going to move up on the two of you. Both of you have one single attack coming towards you. First is you, Thavo. You did reckless, so 16. You feel like the hand pass through your body as you take 12 necrotic damage, reduced to 6, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. You're good. You resist all of that. Easy peasy. Next one goes towards you, Bill. 18 to hit. 7 necrotic damage to you, and I also need you to make a Constitution saving throw. Easy enough. Both of you succeed, taking this necrotic damage that's somehow hitting you through your body as these wraiths, these ghostly entities are sweeping through you. That ends their turn. Flynn, you're up. You're like running through the storm, trying to catch up as you gave everybody space.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. So I was 50 feet behind Thavo when she started. So that would put me 25 feet off the map, actually. Are we doing it that way, or am I actually here?
Yeah, you're 25 feet off the map. So 25 of your movement would put you right where you're at.
I was not holding my push to talk button when I said all that. What can I see from here being so small?
It is not on a raised platform. It is, it's level with the ground. The stairs and all that aren't really here. You're just in a desert with 3 pillars. So you can see a crowd at the moment. I would say you can't see the cultists because your vision would be blocked by a giant brown bear. But you see these 2 ghostly entities kind of harrying your party members on either side.
Well, okay, Dan. I'm just going to try to shoot a ray of frost at the one by Thavo.
Okay.
I'm gonna do some stuff. I'm gonna, hey, Star. Book's gonna come out. Reach out my hand and go Sub-Zero on the ass.
That hits. Royo damage. Oh, 16. Nope, that's 16 to hit. 7 cold damage.
Does it seem to fully affect the ghost?
That was what I am looking at. It does seem to fully affect the ghost. As it passes through, you see the ice start to like form and create a solid surface around some of the more airy parts.
Cool. So its speed is reduced by 10 until the start of my next turn. I got no useful bonus actions I can do right now, so I'm over here. I'm done.
Ooh, wonderful. Ending your turn, goes back up to the top. And this one... Okay, speed. There it is. Alright. You see one of the ghostly figures kind of emerge from behind a pillar, another one, Flynn, as it disappears and then reappears closer to you. And it seems to be moving in your direction. However, it cannot get all the way there. So it is just going to use Grave Bolts against you. So 2 attacks coming your way. The first one's a 22, not a natural 20. And the next one's an 8.
Yeah, I get hit by the first one.
Take 11 points of necrotic damage.
All right. I look paler than I was.
That ends that Wraith or White's turn. And then Thavo, you're up. You're being harried.
Step here. So I might be on top of that body. I'll go to this one that's to the north side of me first.
Okay, you get an opportunity attack as you leave melee of the one.
It's fine.
13.
Nope.
Swipes and misses, but you get to the 2 cultists.
Alright, so my first one.
Definitely hits.
Is he still up?
No, definitely not. You cut him in half easily.
Then I'll use my other attack on the next guy.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack.
Nine.
And you cut him in half as well. There are half bodies all over this place, and one turned into paste from electricity. As you cut through the last one, the incantation, the chanting, stops echoing, and whatever this barrier was on this corpse that you're like standing over now disappears, and it goes back to lifeless.
Are these ghosts still up?
The ghosts are still there.
I guess as my bonus action, I get to attack again, right?
Yup.
I'll try to attack this ghost, though I don't think it'll help, and I hate him.
Okay. 10 does not hit. No, 10 does not hit. You miss.
That's all I got.
You kind of slice through the more misty part of it. Yeah, their speed's just reduced.
Oh, we can't hear you, Trey.
Oh, I was just reading the spell before. Making sure their AC wasn't lowered with Frostbolt as well, but it's just their speed. But that ends your turn. And now it's Bill.
Alright, I'm going to move up base to base in between the two, whatever they are. And I would like to move my Call Lightning down to the bad guy nearest Flynn.
Okay.
And I'll set it off on him again.
11.
Nope, it's 14 DC.
Roll your damage. 13 lightning damage to him.
Actually, I messed up last time. Since it is storming, it's an extra D10 on top of that.
Roll another. Every bit helps. With the extra charge of the storm, you do an extra damage as the lightning streak crashes into the creature. Anything else for you, Bill?
Nope, that's it.
It is these two. Both of them are going to make attacks on you, Bill, because you're giving them a chance to attack you with advantage. (16 and 22).
Yeah, they both hit.
Alright, so you take a total of 24 necrotic damage, and you need to make 2 DC 13 Constitution saving throws. Yeah, both of them easy. No effect, not that it would really affect you in bear form anyways, but you take big chunks of damage as the life is starting to pool out of you. That ends both of their turns. Flynn, you're up. You just got blasted with some grave bolts and feel bad.
Yeah, we're gonna drink a potion.
Nice. You heal up 8. You boop and dump a potion into your mouth, healing up some of those necrotic wounds.
And I'm gonna... Let's go as far as I can that direction.
Okay.
That's all I can do in this turn. Name of the game is Stay Alive by the Bee Gees.
Okay, so this one chases you down a little bit. Still 10 feet away from you, so that's all of its movement. You watch as this ghostly figure kind of just shouts in your direction. You hear like a... And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
I'm gonna use my inspiration. Shitbag McGee. Bye, guys.
Let me see what their DC is to make sure. 13. Yeah. So it shouts out in your direction, and you are paralyzed. You feel your body kind of lock up and freeze as you are stuck in that spot. You are paralyzed for 1 minute. And at the end of each of your turns, you can make another wisdom save. That ends its turn. Avo, you're up.
Alright, I'm gonna go with this ghostly boy in front of me. Since I have no idea, and probably can't see Flynn, I assume.
I mean, you hear stuff's going on out there, but you cannot see it. What's up?
I just remembered that Gnome Cunning has advantage on wisdom saves, so can I take the inspiration point back?
Yeah. You still
Thanks,
have
man.
your inspiration.
I'm still learning the new race.
Everybody's new, except for Bill. Yeah, Davo, if you're attacking this white,
Yep.
go ahead and make your attacks.
I'm gonna move though. Here.
Okay.
And then I get advantage anyway, but this will help hopefully the bear.
That one hits.
Does it actually do anything?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You see it's resistant to some of your damage, but it does something. You do damage to it.
Alright. Oh, I clicked it. There it goes.
That one
And
definitely hits.
1d4.
Another 17, reduced to another 8.
I assume that was a magical effect, what he did to me.
Yes.
Okay, then we're good.
So you strike out twice, hit twice, as you see like some of the ghostly entity gets scattered off of your axe. It's not doing as much as you want it to, but it is doing damage to it. It's looking fairly rough at the moment. Anything else for you?
That's all I got right now.
Bill Brasky.
That is to see if my still up is not.
You lose the lightning from the sky as you got knocked pretty hard that last round.
I'll take my attacks at the thing between me and Thavo.
You have advantage. That hits. That one also hits.
And I'll expel a couple spell slots to get some HP back.
Okay, yeah. You deal some more damage to it. That wraith is looking real bad. Get a whole 1 HP back. Anything else for you, Bill?
That's it for me.
Alright. The wraiths are up. Both of them are still just going to attack the bear that's in the middle. 21 and a 21. So the first one you take 10 necrotic, kicks you out of your form. And then, what were you at? 6, so you take 4 of that necrotic into Bill. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw on that one. Now that you are in Bill form, it will affect you. You just make it. And the second one is 13 more necrotic damage, which I need another saving throw. That one fails. Your hit point maximum is reduced by 13. That ends both of their turns. Flynn, you are paralyzed. You can go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw. Yes, a wisdom saving throw to see if you can break it. Yeah, you break it. So you break out of it at the end of your turn. It jumps back to the other guy that still thinks you're paralyzed. Gets up to there and will launch 2 grave bolts. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Hey, you might be out of range. At you, Bill, because you're the only one within range of grave bolt. Oh, never mind. It's 120 feet. I'm crazy. Uh, 23 and a 7. So, Bill, you will take 11 points of necrotic damage as one of the grave bolts smashes into you. And that's guy's turn. Dabble. You're up.
Great. Same thing on this guy.
Get him. That scatters him into dust.
Nice. I will run over here. Get behind this guy. And do one more attack. Oh, I get 2 more because I got that guy at a 0. Nice. Very so cool.
That one hits.
1.
And I think you need to roll an extra d12 because of Savage Attacker, right? Or Great Weapon Master.
Yep, you're right. You're right.
Another 2 on top of that. So 24. Wait, let me just do it this way. 22, 24, 26, 28, 33 total, which will be halved to 16. Yeah, you take a big chunk out of that one. He's looking pretty rough as you take 2 giant swipes through it, and the second one, like, you pass through the head and see it kind of like shatter and then reassemble itself as you swing through, disorienting it. But yeah, you did some serious damage. Anything else for you, Thabo?
I'm afraid no ghost. No, that's it.
Bill, you're up.
I'm going to go back into my bear form, and I'm going to charge down to the bad guy at the bottom of the map.
Okie dokie.
Carefully moving around the guy to my left, of course.
Yeah, you can get some steps in and then transform in progress as you back into a giant bear as you run up on this ghostly boy. That hits. That one also hits. Alright, he's looking rough as you bite and slash through, tearing like these ghostly tendrils of smoke off of it, and it's just like tearing it apart, but it doesn't look like it's really doing anything, but you can tell it's taking damage. Looking pretty rough. Anything else for you, Bill?
Nope, I'm done.
Okay, this old ghostly boy over here is going to attack Thavo. It is going to, with advantage, 14.
Yep, that's my AC.
You take 7 necrotic damage, reduced to 3, and make a Constitution saving throw. You just make the DC so you don't lose your max HP. So you take 3 damage as it swipes through you and uses a bonus action as you see a mist and it disappears away from you because you smacked the hell out of it, and it's going to reappear over here. That ends its turn. Flynn, you are no longer paralyzed. What are you doing?
I will move my full movement to get as far away as possible, and then I'm gonna Ray of Frost the one that Bill just bit up.
That one hits. You Ray of Frost it as you see it kind of solidify throughout its entire form and then fall to the ground and whoosh, crash as you killed the one that paralyzed you. Anything else for you, Flynn?
No.
Thavo.
Alright, use my full movement to get to this guy and slash at him, trying to stay between him and Flynn.
Go for it. Definitely hits. Definitely hits. So 6 plus 9, 15. 7 points of damage.
And that's all I got. I'm gonna try to just keep him there.
Yeah, you strike through twice again, once more dispersing mist and smoke from this entity. It's starting to look wounded. Bill, what you got?
I'll take my 2 attacks at it.
That one misses. Wait, you have advantage. That one hits. Just hits. And the second one definitely hits. Alright, so 28 points of damage would be 14, which is the exact number you needed to destroy this thing. How do you want to do this? Can't hear
we
you,
can't
Nick.
hear you.
That was really cool too. So I'm gonna bite into it, then I'll pull it out of my mouth and I'll just LeBron James it above my head and scatter it.
So you bite into it and let it go as both of the mitts come up, and as you come out, there's like a cloud of just ghostly entity that slowly drifts down in between the two of you. As you all have done it and are out of combat.
Oh,
I do want to go over to the corpse on the altar and pull the head and arms and legs off of it, scatter it around.
Okay. So you all watch Bill in bear form kind of move up to the altar and just start grabbing pieces of it, tearing it off, and then like just chucking them out in the desert, separating all of the pieces. Pretty easy to do. It is a corpse.
Well, it looks like we might have found some of that cult activity. I just look at all the bodies and how they're like chopped up. Like, can't interrogate. Maybe they got something on them, and I'll just start searching their persons for any evidence, books, letters, things of that sort.
Okay. Make an investigation check on the bodies. Nice roll. Yeah. Let me pull up some notes here so I can tell you what you find. Okie dokie. So, searching through these, cultists, as you start digging through, the first thing you find on all of them, as you're kind of just scattering about, looking to see if they all have it, there are symbols. They have like necklaces, medallions, and on it looks to be like a maze, like a square that is just stones and a maze. As it kind of like branches around, it's like one solid piece of metal that is probably like this big, and it's just like a maze in a square. Digging through, you also find one book on one of them. And as you open like this leather-bound tome, most of it seems to be written in what looks to be blood, in a language that you don't understand at the moment. And more of these diagrams show up. Just mazes, different styles of mazes, circular mazes, square mazes, elongated, like crazy, all sorts of directions mazes that are just hard in general to read through. Even with your keen mind, they're very difficult. Those are the things you find related to culty activities.
We can do this now or later, but I can take 10 minutes to cast a spell to read this book. Or shall we just wait and get out of the rain? What do you think?
Maybe we should get out of the rain and put some distance between us and these pillars.
Very well.
Is
I'm
the
gonna take
body-
a... Go ahead.
So the body's still there. So I guess like, are we just going to leave this body? Seems like they really wanted it. Also, how often are you guys running into ghosts? No one told me there was ghosts. Do you run into ghosts often?
We've started running into undead things of late. It's what took our friend from us, so that's something I personally plan on getting better about.
Okay, so we're gonna have ghosts. Anybody have silver? I would need some silver.
I absolutely do not have any silver.
Didn't you talk about giving something to Pharaoh that was silver in case he lost control? Or did I dream that?
No, yes, we gave her a... What was it? Was it a sword I made out of silver? Or had made?
I
Alright, well, I would like some silver, because I don't know if you guys don't know this or not, but if you do not have silver, they will jump into your body.
Didn't know that. Silver
Yes.
keeps them out your body. All right. Well, when we get to
Yes.
Roxhold, I'll get some. Well, I've got silver pieces. Does that work? Or does it have to be a weapon?
Just any silver. If you
Oh,
do
I'm
not
good.
have silver, Bill, you're screwed. You're screwed. Sorry. Wait, can you become? That means if you become like a ghost werewolf. Sorry, I'm not going to protect you. I'll protect you as a werewolf, but not as a ghost werewolf.
Well, how about this? Bill, give her the silver sword, and then if you do get possessed by a ghost, at least we've got a means to slow you down. Right? Does that sound good, Thabo?
That's fine. I just don't want him in me.
Okay. And I'll rummage around the bag of holding and give her the silver sword.
You do so. Find it pretty easily. Just think about it and it appears, and you pull it out and hand over a silver sword to Thabo.
Very gingerly handling the silver sword.
And I've got silver pieces in my pouch with my gold, so is that good, Thabo?
That's fine. That's
Okay.
fine. Just have it.
You should have a silver dagger as well.
Did you give me a dagger too?
Yeah, everybody was made weapons.
Oh, okay. Well then, yeah, my dagger is silver. I forgot about that.
So, are we leaving this body here?
I mean, we could put it in the bag of holding. We don't know who this is. If it was someone of great import to evil people, or if they were just using it as a vessel of some sort, but information is information.
So you're supposed to watch out for cult activity. What kind of cult is this? The cult?
We didn't get any specifics. Something new that's been going on, reports, but nothing specific. That's kind of what we're keeping our eyes open for. Next time, we should try to keep one of them alive, but this is good because we stopped whatever this was. It's probably better that way.
This is why magic is no good. See, it
In the
leads
wrong
to-
hands.
Leads to trouble.
In the wrong hands. Then again, your giant axe in the wrong hands could be very bad too.
But I can't raise somebody from the dead and create ghosts, so...
You could technically create ghosts if you
Yeah.
killed enough people.
You turn
No.
these four guys into ghosts.
No, they're dead.
Oh, look at that! They're floating up to their hells.
If I punch you, you will die.
I know.
Okay.
One time I tripped on a rock and I almost died.
Just keep staring at Flynn.
Oh,
A ghost
I
screamed at me
will-
and I almost died.
I will pull out Kiwi and hand him back over.
Kiwi is a lady.
Her back over.
We treat her as a lady.
You have Kiwi back. Now, what are you doing? Are you getting out of the rain, or what's the plan?
Are we all morally alright with shoving this corpse into the bag of holding? Moving on, get some dry places, then figure out what's in this book. Take that as a yes.
Out of game. Could you imagine if this is how we got like the hand of Vecna?
I'm just very curious about this maze thing out of the game.
Oh, I got an idea. Out of game.
So, you stuff the corpse without its arms, legs, or head just the torso of this body into the bag of holding.
They got any peculiar jewelry on them hands?
Doesn't look like it. You went over everything pretty well with your high investigation check. Nothing of use or value on this.
Okay.
Stuff it in there and continue on your journey. As the rain continues, you travel pretty much the rest of the day until evening and find a spot to where there are some large rocks that have created like an archway to where you can get some cover from the rain. Looks like a good place to camp. And there you are.
All right. As soon as we're all set up and dry, I will immediately start ritual casting Comprehend Languages.
Mm-hmm.
Once that's done, I'm gonna read this book.
Yeah. You... Okay. Yeah, you spend some time casting that spell, taking a few minutes to where you can understand all languages, and you can read the text in the book. Some of the other stuff is not deciphered for you, like there are glyphs and sigils that are in this, but they do not come through the spell. But you can read the text. The book is some sort of summoning ritual, and it refers to the Horned King.
Orcus? Is that, can I deduce if that's who they're talking about there?
Make a religion check. And if you relay this to anybody, if you want to make a religion check as well.
I am, yeah, reading this out loud. Hilarious.
So, Flynn, you have no idea if that is what Orcus is referred to as. Bill, you know that Orcus is not referred to as the Horned King. He is referred to as the Prince of Chaos or the Master of Darkness. The Horned King does actually ring a bell with you. It is something you heard about a long time ago. Back when you were living in the area of Taldore. This refers to a certain beast because of the worry about the abyss and all that was going on kind of after your time in the stories of the Unfallen. There was another Lord of the Abyss that was mentioned, the Horn King Baphomet. You, even with a natural 20, don't know that much about him. That was not really your study as far as you and your family and growing up. But you know that he's another terror that dwells in the Abyss.
Yeah, I'll relay that to everybody.
Alright, brilliant, brilliant. So we got one bitch captured and another bitch trying to be alive. It's fun.
Is that pretty much just it? So a summoning ritual for this Baphomet? Trying to get him into the material plane or some shit?
This summoning ritual isn't specific to him. It is... Let's switch all this. This is just an in general summoning ritual. It is just tied to the cult of Baphomet. Roll an Arcana check for me. The level of this summoning spell is much too simple to perhaps raise a Lord of the Abyss into the material plane. With this, you get that it's probably some sort of like high priest, lich, something like that, higher up in the chain of command of this cult, but not directly Baphomet. You flip some pages, you get to, as you're just kind of reading through this, there's a section that you can read that's outside of the sigils and all of that. At the very end, it says, "We are all beasts, and only delusion prevents you from seeing the truth." It's just like a weird section that is separate from all the rest of the script, and it's like, it's almost like a tag, like a footer at the end of a page.
We are all beasts and only delusion what?
Prevents you from seeing the truth.
Can I make a religion check or something on that saying?
Sure. Sounds pretty simple. You've not heard that specifically ever before, but I mean, it doesn't sound insane by any means. It just sounds like some sort of saying.
How far away from that place with the 3 pillars did we go?
You walked into the rest of the evening, so 4 or 5 hours away.
Well, that's something. Cult of
Really?
Baphomet.
Really feels like we're in over our heads again, huh?
That's where we started 4 days into our journeys, I reckon. Just make sure we just keep this close, keep our eyes open for anything else. I don't know, maybe once I get into Roxhold, I don't know, do something to protect us from necrotic things until I'm strong enough to learn some more spells. I did also take the medallions with me.
Okay. Yeah. So you have 4 maze medallions. Anything else, or are we taking a long rest?
I think that's it. Just gonna reflect on that.
Okie dokie. So, the rest of your journey is pretty simple. We'll skip by all that. But something does occur every night that all of you go to sleep. Over the rest of the week, travel back to Roxhold, over the mountains, through the river, and back that way. Every time you rest, Savo and Flynn, two of you dream of nothing but walking through a maze. You're stuck in just this endless maze every time you go to sleep. These just long, empty corridors that twist and turn. And that's what your night's sleep is every night, is trying to walk through a maze.
Just constantly lost, or is anything chasing us or trying to harm us? Just stuck in a maze?
Nothing's chasing you. Nothing else happens. You're just walking a maze.
Just wake up in the mornings and just kind of try to shake it off every time.
I just write it down when I wake up every time, in case anything ever changes.
Do you, and I guess in the morning, like, be like, do you still have those medallions on you?
I do.
Can I see one?
Joe? Give her one.
Yeah, I don't know. Would I have like a piece of charcoal or something on me?
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna use it and see if I can like trace it to get to the center. Feels very nostalgic right now.
Trace the medallion?
Yeah, the maze on it. Like, see if I can kind of like draw a line to get to center.
Okay. Good. You set the medallion down and begin to trace and go through towards the center. You never reach the center.
Okay. I'll just kind of take note of that since I'm very good at like tracking and like directions.
Okay.
Alright, thank you. There you go.
Your week-long travel comes to an end at the cusp of Roxhold. You see the giant pillar-like towers erupting from the earth off in the distance. You still have to cross the river, but you are close to Roxhold.
Alright, so I was thinking about this. I could go in alone, just get what we need and leave. Or, because Fabo wasn't with us, so she's not, no one's going to pay her any mind. I look different, so I don't think anyone's going to pay me much mind.
So
Bill,
are you wanted here?
some folks think we're dead. We don't know exactly if we're wanted, but there's people here that wanted to infiltrate the capital. We betrayed them to help Lacenar.
Okay, can you describe to me who thinks you're dead so I know who to look out for to protect you from?
Sure. The man in charge, his name was Gerig, the War Master, and he looks like the way he looks.
Alright.
In game descriptions.
Perfect! Know exactly who he is.
Because I think he's just a big bald guy, but I don't remember.
You got it.
Yeah. He resides in that tower, but we are going to that tower. Or I am. But I could cast a major image around you, Bill,
That ought to make you look different. It's not the same as disguise self, but I mean, I imagine DM out a game that I could utilize Major Image as a sort of disguise self spell for somebody else.
Yeah, so with Major Image, you're creating this image and you're going to have to move it. Like, it's not going to move with Bill. So you will have to focus on that spell and make sure it stays with him or it's going to look weird.
Yeah.
Probably take some high Arcana rolls to maintain this spell, depending on what you're doing with it. Like, if you're trying to make a full body transformation, the DC is going to be pretty high for you to map that with him walking while you are also walking.
Well, do we really want to risk it? I mean, I could hang out on the outside of town, or, I mean, I guess I could become a mouse or something and hang out with Miss Kiwi.
You can turn into animals. I'm overthinking everything over here.
But then again, there is a time limit on that. I got a 2-hour span each time. I mean, I guess I could, if I'm sitting in somebody's pocket, just take a constant rest and just keep turning into animals. But something that small, it wouldn't take much for me to pop back into my Bill shape.
It shouldn't take too long for me to just go in and get the stuff. I'm just thinking worst case scenario, if for some reason someone realizes that it's me and I get snatched or something crazy.
I mean, I'm going with you. I'm going to protect you.
Right, and then I don't want Bill out here alone in case someone notices I'm out here and gets snatched.
Well, if you turn into a mouse and want to hang out with Kiwi, that's fine, but no funny business.
I believe I'll be able to restrain myself.
Fine.
He definitely will, though, but that's not. It's just a wee bit of sarcasm.
No, never mind.
What?
Oh, we can't hear you again, Nick.
But I...
There you are. We hear you now. We hear you now.
Do I put out that vibe as someone who might have or take advantage of a mouse?
I mean, I don't know you, and I don't really care for many things, but I do love Kiwi.
Protective
Fair
mother
enough.
vibes.
Okay. That just seems like a weird aura to present to people. If I was doing that, I'd rather not.
Right.
We're
Flynn,
not
would you carry
creeps,
me in your
though,
pocket?
Yes. Jesus. We traveled with a lady for quite some time and we didn't do anything gross.
Again, I don't know you.
How well do you know Lacenar?
He puts off that vibe. That's a weird vibe he does put off.
Yeah, I like when he's whole. He just hires me for some jobs sometimes.
Well, anyway. The team works better when there's a wee bit of trust. I know you don't know us very well, but keep an open mind. And we'll go.
I'll go ahead and...
Yeah.
I'll turn into a mouse and scurry up onto Flynn's shoulder.
Okay. So you take form of a mouse and you're on Flynn's shoulder as you guys progress into the city. Is the plan just to go to the magic shop?
Yep.
Right on. You go into the tower, climb all the stairs, well within the window for Bill to be a mouse, and you find the old lady ready to collect her monies.
I'll stand outside of the magic shop.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like there's a staircase and there's like stores, so you're kind of just like right off the staircase, so you're still standing on the staircase, Stavo. But you exchange coins and get your little hair clips.
It was 200.
Aye.
All right. I'll tack on another 50 just to tip her for the delay and all that stuff.
Oh, much appreciated. I like this new look you've got going on. You look so thin.
It's growing on me. Came with a lot of trauma, but what doesn't these days, you know? Have a good day.
Bye.
And you'll leave the tower.
So, Thavo, I know you don't like magic, but we got these things for us so that magical people can't spy on us magically. We were going to have this for our friends, but if you like it, I'll give it to you.
Thank you, but no thank you.
Alright, it's here for you if you change your mind. But just because I've got a sort of enemy that likes to spy on me every once in a while, so that's why we got this. But
Well then, if they can't spy on you or Bill, they don't know who I am, so they can't spy on me.
possibly,
So I don't need it.
possibly, she has been able to spy on Bill all the way up until now, so it is possible that she is now aware of you. I don't know
How?
that. She's very powerful. If she was spying on Bill and somehow you were near Bill, she might have spotted you. I don't know. But it's here if you need it.
No thank you.
I mean, unless Dia and Mike can make some sort of check to see if that's even possible.
Did if she's been spotted through
If
like,
she-
a scry spell?
Yeah, like if she's able to scry on Bill and notice us.
Make just roll a general intelligence check for me. With your very keen intellect, and you know that the radius of that spell is not the biggest. You can hear things, but you can't see a whole lot. You do recall that Thavo has kept her distance from you fairly frequently. She's always been about 10 feet away from the group. So, you feel like more than likely Bokia has no idea that Thavo exists in the group, and if she does, she's only heard the voice.
And then I'll kind of rephrase to be like, she probably doesn't know. She might have heard your voice, worst case scenario. So if you're comfortable with that, but we'll just keep it here so you're more comfortable, just in case you ever do need it. You have it. All right.
But thank you.
Very well. All right, let's get out of here.
That time kind of comes to where Bill needs to re-magic himself. You kind of duck off and allow that process to happen, back into a mouse. And where are you going from here? Are you going to try and catch a ship, or are you going back to the city, to Staud?
We want to try to sail back to Yavin or long trek it? How do you feel about ships, Thavo?
Fine with ships.
What you think, Bill?
I'm a mouse.
Oh, thought he changed back.
I'm a mouse.
You ducked off so he could turn into a mouse again in the city.
Alright, Bill. Nod for ship. Shake your head for no ship. Bill's alright with the ship. Save us some time. Alright. Let's go and see if we can find us a ship. I'll look for it, but I'm not expecting to find the Copper's Cock.
You do have to go up the river back into the bay where the ships were, so you'll have to hire some passage to get to where all the ships are. Or you can talk to somebody around and see if there's any ships in that bay.
Yeah, I'll just do the quickest thing for right now. I'll just go to see if there's any available ships that we can just get from here.
Okay. So you kind of walk off to where like the river runs through, and there's a lot of small boats that like you rode in on, go to the bay. There's a handful of workers just kind of hanging out around there. Walk up to them. What are we gonna do for you? Looking for passage?
Yes, a passage for 3, possibly to Yavin if there's anything available.
Give me a moment. Let me look. You see him kind of go back to a desk and start flipping through some pages. We got a ship setting off in the morning for Yavin. It's just a passenger ship.
Very good. How much for 3 people?
It's 100 gold apiece, so 300 gold total.
I think that sounds good. Go ahead and just pay you now or in the morning? What's best?
You'll pay now. I'll give you the tickets. We'll go ahead and send you off on one of these small boats so you can get to the ship before morning. Find your cabin and you'll set sail the next day.
Fantastic. Here we go. Thank you so much.
You get your invoices, and Bill at some point turns back into Bill as you're getting on these dinghies. And you floated up the river back into the bay to where you see there are like 2 or 3 ships kind of docked up. The person that is taking the small boat up the river kind of points out, cargo ship down there, passenger ship right here, and down at the end, don't worry about it.
Oh, I'm looking. What is down there?
It's a large ship that is fortified with a slew of cannons. It seems to be some sort of battleship.
Nice.
So you get pointed in the right direction. You find the passenger ship called Harry Mary's. You walk on, present the invoices. You are led down by a young human boy, probably like mid-teens, late teens, guiding you below ship, showing you your quarters. And you have the evening until the morning when you ship off to head back to Yavin. Anything you want to do this evening? Because you've got 10 minutes to do it.
Make a point to stay in our quarters. Yeah, I'll make a point to stay in our quarters so I can't be spotted.
I'll give Bill his beret so that we can be shielded from the skies.
Okay.
Yeah. I might mention that I've been having dreams of a maze. Might bring that up. Not really sure what it means. It's not doesn't seem dangerous yet, but
It's interesting. It's interesting that it's been happening every day since I got this. So just keep an eye on me. Make sure I don't go running around in any cornfields.
When you're in the maze, are you always lost?
Yeah, never really finish. Just looking until I wake up.
I've been dreaming about that too.
Why you, I wonder?
I don't know, that's why I wanted to see the medallion, see if I can get to the center of it. I couldn't.
Perhaps when we get to Yavin, we can, or at least I can go to a library and try to find more information on this.
You guys
Ahama.
seem to be involved in a lot of things that I was unaware of. I was just told to protect you, and I'm not asking questions. I'm just saying it's a lot.
You can ask questions. I thought it was weird that
It is a
Lexnar
lot.
just hired you and you didn't know anything.
I was
jeez.
told to protect you. That was it. This is the first time I've gone to protect people. I'm like, y'all are more fucked up than I am.
I'll take that as a compliment because you look like you've seen some shit. And I mean that in a good way. Very
Right.
strong.
Okay, well, keep your silver on you. Might be the ghost messing with us. They're following us. Keep the silver on you. Don't let them in your body.
At some point, whenever like Thavo's just not paying attention or like feeding Kiwi, I'm just gonna be like, best we don't talk about the ice cream man.
I was just thinking about him.
Lose her
That's-
shit.
That's on the to-do list as well, but low priority. Just let me know if you start to spot any more wrinkles on me.
Don't have Farrier daily armpit checker.
So, you all hang out and chit-chat on a ship. Get ready for your voyage the following morning back to Yavin. Back to Ground Zero. That's it. That's where we're gonna finish. We'll pick up and do some ship voyage.
Ooh,
Back-
it's all coming
Want to
together.
hang out in Roxhold for a few episodes?
It's all coming together. No.
It's such a fun city, though.
Out of game, I want to know if Erzi knows anything about that maze. In game, I don't even know who Erzi is. I hope you guys like Thavo. We'll see how she turns out.
I don't mind Thavo. Flynn just doesn't know how she's gonna fit in, and now she's stuck with us. It's like, okay, well, you don't like magic. It's kind of our thing, and now here we are. So hopefully, Lacenor's
Oh,
paying
by the
you
way,
well.
We're picking up this extremely magical item at our house.
Yeah, get enough of them together, you can make a wish.
Nope, I'm out.
Alright, well that's it. Thanks YouTube. Thanks people watching the Nobody. Like and subscribe. Do that thing. Push the buttons. Otherwise I'm gonna throw a rock.
You will, too.
Goodbye.